The Library of Alexandria was located in Alexandria, Egypt. It was one of the biggest and most important libraries in the world. It was the focal point of knowledge and learning during ancient times. It is a common belief that the Library of Alexandria was destroyed once, but that's actually false. The library gradually deteriorated over the course of hundreds of years. Regardless of how long it took to actually destroy the library completely, there are those who believe that ancient knowledge and artifacts could have been destroyed during its demise. So what if the Library of Alexandria was never destroyed? That's the question we are asking right now on Life's Biggest Questions. Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. Before I get into this video, I should tell you that it's actually a myth that the Library of Alexandria was destroyed in one fire. It took quite a while for the library to be destroyed completely. Named after Alexander the Great, at the height of its glory, it's believed it housed over 500,000 documents and scrolls. 100 staff maintained the library and its contents. It was a research center and somewhat resembled a modern-day university. The library had lecture halls, dining halls, meeting rooms, and libraries. It also housed the first medical school ever. Then in 145 BC, the library's decline began with the purging of intellectuals. And then most famously, Julius Caesar accidentally burned the library and part of its collection during his civil war. In 48 BC, Julius Caesar set fire to his own ships. The fire ended up spreading to the waterfront, and then the library. Historians don't know how much of the contents of the library were destroyed as a result of this fire, but according to 1st century AD Roman playwright and Stoic philosopher Seneca the Younger, the fire started by Caesar destroyed 40,000 scrolls from the Library of Alexandria. Plutarch and Cassius Dio also wrote that Caesar destroyed the library, but other historians say the fire only destroyed the fleets and some of the houses near the sea. Whatever happened, the Library of Alexandria was not completely destroyed by Caesar. The library either survived partly or was rebuilt shortly after, because there are records of scholars having access to it around 20 BC. During the Roman period, the Great Library got progressively worse because of lack of funding and support. Between 270 to 275 AD, there was a rebellion in Alexandria, which probably resulted in the complete destruction of the library or whatever was left of it. It's widely believed that the destruction of the Library of Alexandria could have set back the progress of human civilization by 1,000 years. All ships that came to the harbor of Alexandria were required to hand over their books so that scribes at the library could make copies. Needless to say, there were a lot of important documents held at the Library of Alexandria. The library was essentially a collection of thousands of documents. Many of the documents were historical in nature. But how important were those documents really to civilization? Did the burning of Alexandria really set back civilization by 1,000 years? Well, the short answer is, we just don't know. Maybe some of the documents did burn when Caesar accidentally set the library on fire, but we don't know how many of these documents were destroyed or how important they were. It should also be noted that the Library of Alexandria wasn't the only prestigious library of ancient times. It was the most famous and the largest, sure. But the Library of Pergamum probably housed just as many important scrolls. Many of the texts that were housed at the Library of Alexandria probably existed in several other libraries across the Mediterranean. In short, there were copies of many of the important scrolls. When the Library of Alexandria was destroyed, it meant that those scrolls were no longer as easily accessible because they weren't all housed in one place. But that doesn't mean they didn't exist elsewhere. That being said, the library did house important ideas and medical techniques that were gathered over thousands of years. Modern medicine could have made its way into the hands of people around the world far sooner. Who knows how many lives could have been saved by advanced medical knowledge that might have been lost when the Library of Alexandria was destroyed. Furthermore, almost all writings of Hipparchus, who was the father of astronomy, are lost. Could scrolls containing his work have existed within the Library of Alexandria? Possibly. There's also plenty of mathematical knowledge that has been lost as well. Practically everything before Euclid doesn't exist anymore. Euclid is one of the most famous Greek philosophers, and we only have 50% of his work. Many historians think that Euclid's lost works used to be housed at the Library of Alexandria and were subsequently destroyed when the library was destroyed. But now I open up the question to you, dear subscribers. How do you think the world would be different if the Library of Alexandria was never destroyed? Let me know in those comments.